how to put English on the basketball.
Hello and welcome to another episode of With the English Pod. We are sorry that we've been a bit delayed with this. We've had some technical issues, but as always, it's myself, Sam Oakley, and Glen doing the show. We're going to start off with a new segment today, so hopefully you'll enjoy this new segment. Glen, would you like to explain?
Yeah, basically, we're going to try out this new segment called X's and O's. Sam or myself will throw out topics, and X will be something we disagree with, and O will be something we agree with. And the easiest way we thought we'd try it out was to go through free agency moves with all said teams in the NBA, and yeah, see how it goes.
Indeed. So I will go through, and then you can do the X's and O's and see which ones we agree with and which ones we don't agree with. And there might be some sort of disagreement between us because I might think that one's a good move and you not, based on what you've said already.
Well, I'm not going to say that my opinions are correct in the slightest.
Oh, wow.
It just makes a nice bit of debate.
It will do when it comes to the Lakers, I'm sure.
Mm.
But we'll start alphabetically, shall we? Should we go with Atlanta Hawks?
Yep, okay.
X or O?
So who we got?
Well, Patty Mills.
Who we got? Patty Mills. I guess O, really good shooter, good role player. I think nothing more to say on that, really.
Agree, and Murray with the extension.
I'm a bit torn, to be honest. I'm going to lean more towards X because I don't really know what the Hawks are planning and how they're building things. Would you agree?
Yeah, I don't know how effective having Murray and Young in the backcourt is going to be when it comes to playoffs and stuff. So yeah, no, I'm in agreement with that.
I think last season they declined a little bit. And yeah, if you're looking at him in for 4 years, is Trae Young and DeJounte Murray your backcourt for the next 4 years?
Yeah. No, I just don't think they defensively can do the job that you need to do in the playoffs personally. But I think there'll be a playoff team every year with those in the backcourt. I just don't think they're going to be a serious contender.
I'm gonna say a play-in team, not a playoff team.
Yeah, that's fair. Same as last year. I can see that happening for sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And Boston Celtics. Straight away, I want to go X, but
yeah, why is that?
I think it's a bad trade. I don't know what I don't think KP is. I don't think he'll fit in the system personally that well, and he's not. Williams is smart with good defensive players, and they've got rid of both. But yeah, that's my guess. What about you?
Well, a lot happened in that 24 hours, and when it was first rumored to be Malcolm Brogdon, I would have said oh, but when things changed to Marcus Smart, I'm definitely leaning and agreeing with you. It's an X for me. Like you say, where does KP fit in that system? And then the Celtics go and lose probably one of their best players, leader in the team. He was Defensive Player of the Year only 2 years ago, and they've definitely improved the Grizzlies. The type of character Marcus Smart is probably what Ja Morant needs right now, so he stops, showing guns here and there, everywhere. So I think it makes the Celtics weaker defensively. KP can rim protect to a certain degree, but as far as I'm concerned, he's never been an elite defender.
Nope.
So I think the Boston Celtics, become a worse team. They still got moves to make, I'm sure, but as it stands of today, definitely an X.
Glad we agree on that one. This one, Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, your boy Lonnie Walker going that way.
Yeah, they've done not well. The Brooklyn Nets haven't really done much, have they? But yeah, if you want to look for the players have returned or brought in, Lonnie Walker, I'd say he was pretty sound for us last year. He put in a big, I think everyone remembers him that fourth quarter against the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference semis.
Mm-hmm.
So on a 1 year deal, there's no risk involved. So I think it's an O for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think they've done anything special. Cam Johnson was always going to return, I feel. But yeah, Lonnie Walker, the only real addition. I don't think Dennis Smith Jr. Basie's going to do too much for them. A team I'm
Yeah, I
not
think because they're all on 1 year deals. I think like I say, there's no real risk involved. Is there? There's
no.
not a lot of money put into it, so I think they're O's for me.
Yeah, no, fully agree with you. A couple of greens already. Charlotte Hornets didn't really sign anyone, but what do we think about the
Who you
Charlotte
naming
Hornets?
first?
Wow. So I think the Mellow Ball deal, like obviously agreeing to an extension, that's the right thing to do. And I think
Yeah,
signing, it's really tough on Bridges. Really tough on Bridges. I morally wouldn't. Someone's going to sign him, but morally, I wouldn't want that to be my team. He'll probably get away with it in a smaller city like Charlotte, where they're not as big on basketball. If the domestic abuse thing came out while he was playing for someone like the Lakers, Boston's, Philly, there's going to be more media pressure on them.
oh yeah, they're low market, aren't they?
Yeah, so I think, I think that's just, I'd go X. I wouldn't say it's nothing special right now.
Yeah, I think X definitely for me on Miles Bridges. I think you're right morally. It just isn't sound, to be honest. I guess that also shows the state of the roster the Hornets are in at the moment, that they'd have to entertain that sort of signing and have certain controversy surrounding them.
Yeah.
Definitely O on the Melo Ball. I think I think he's a fantastic player. He's definitely fun to watch. And yeah, you've got to put all your eggs in on LaMelo Ball. So yeah, definitely an O on those two. Oh, sorry, O on O on the Mellow,
Mellow,
X
yeah,
on
excellent.
Miles.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. And then another team hasn't really done too much as of yet, but there's obviously loads of rumors going around Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I think probably the team that have made the least, not least moves, but that they ain't going to make the headlines, that's for sure. Signing Javon Carter, Torrey Craig, and re-signing Kobe White. What I've seen from Kobe White, I think he's a decent player. I think I saw more potential in him from year one against year two. But I'd still say he has good potential. So I'd say an O for Kobe White, an O for Torrey Craig, because I think he's a solid role player and he's good defensively. If I'm honest, I'm not too sure on Javon Carter. Small sample size from what I've seen personally to make a
Yeah,
decision on that.
yeah. No, I fully agree. Fully agree. They're not signing, Javon Carter 20 late 20s. And yeah, Torrey Craig's in his 30s now. So yeah, they're not. I don't know what they're doing there, but obviously loads of rumors. So I'm sure next time we speak, there'll be more. There potentially could be more trades going on. Cleveland Cavaliers.
Ty Jerome on a 2 year deal. I'd say O. I think he's a pretty solid role player. I don't know what the money was involved, but yeah, I'll go for O. What about you?
No, I agree. Solid player. Again, not sure on the Cavs at the moment because there's been rumours about discontent. I'm not really sure where they want to go at the moment. I think they need a little bit more experience, and even though he's mid-20s, I don't know if they need like sort of those dog vet players that got experience in the playoffs, winning maybe on the bench now as they've got older, or one when they were younger, sort of players. So for me, I'll probably go X on that one.
Damian Jones, for me, it's probably just moving contracts around, isn't it? I've seen him twice in a Laker jersey, and he doesn't really offer anything. He's basically a cone defensively. He might pick you up a few dunks here and there on the pick and roll, but yeah, essentially he's one of those players where I think he's quite fortunate to be in the NBA, to be honest.
Bit harsh, yeah, but fair.
Well, there's I think there's plenty of other talent around the G League and overseas probably that could do a bit of job in Damian Jones. So that's an X for me. Karis LeVert returning on a 2-year deal. I think it's an O. I really like Karis LeVert, to be honest. And I think he's done well for Cleveland. I'll let you pick first on George Niang.
George Niang, yeah. Bang
feelings?
bang, George Niang.
Yeah, exactly.
They have paid him probably more than what I would have. Watching him, he didn't really do much. Again, he's a vet, right? So he's maybe a little bit better. Like I was touching on when we were talking about Jerome, but Niang will offer that experience. He's been on a team that's been in the playoffs a few times. I just don't know. Again, defensively, there's a couple of players there where I just don't think defensively you're gonna see much out of them. So for me, it's potentially an A. It depends how they use him. So I'll go O because it'd probably be good for them, a team that's not going to be competing to win. And then you got
Fair enough.
is it
Max?
Yes. What do you
Max
think about
Strus.
that?
I think the money's quite high, but I think if you look at the player solely, I'd say that's an O. If you go off what the Max Strus you got in Miami last year, I think it's a great addition. I just question the money a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've gone for some good players that have been in the playoffs, but I don't think they've done. I don't know if they've done it right. But again, potentially, it's as of right now, I would probably go O, but in 6 months' time, we could be going X. Like you say, the money could come back to bite them, and the players they've paid in those just across those five might have got better for your money. My least favorite city in America, Dallas. Dallas Mavericks. What do you think?
I'm just going to sum this up with a big fat X, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, Grant Williams is a good addition, I think.
Yeah.
Steph Curry is a good shooter, but I just ain't with this Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic pairing at Dallas. I think there's always going to be a bit of confusion of who handles the ball, who's the main shooter. They lack defense in the backcourt because of it. They barely have any defense in the front court, to be honest. I just think the whole move back in last season was you trade all your key role players, defensively as well, and you take on a big contract with Kyrie Irving, who has controversy surrounding him all the time. He's quite unreliable. He likes to take time off. Yeah, I think that's going to be messy for Dallas.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think Holmes and Williams solid for you to offer that defensive Sort of, again, not elite. I wouldn't say they're elite. You could argue Dwight Powell's a good defender as well.
I think it's safe to say that they can be good defensively with those additions and Dwight Powell returning, but from what they had previously,
yeah, I'm definitely, I agree with you.
and like I say, who's defending out of Kyrie and Luka?
Yeah, no, it's the same as the Hawks, and I think I like that Dallas are trying to win. Like, I don't think they're obviously trying. They've got a good owner that wants to win, wants to compete. I just don't think they're going about it in the right way. So I'm in agreement with you. The NBA champions.
Yeah,
Not
Denver Nuggets, obviously coached by the Lakers daddy. I'm gonna say X as a whole for them. Not because I'm bitter or anything. It's more actually because end of the day they're champions and they've lost, a couple of key players in that rotation in the finals.
Yeah.
They've lost Bruce Brown, who was massive for them
Yeah.
on both ends of the ball. And then they lost Jeff Green, who, really, really did his bit when his minutes he did play. And then they've got Justin Holiday, Reggie Jackson returning, who's quite solid, but John Day Jordan is nothing to shout home about. So if you look at it in the sense of, are they better than where they were when they became champions? No.
No, I agree. I agree. That's what happens when championships, trying to replace players, rotation players that can get more money and potentially more minutes. Detroit.
I want to point out that.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, before we go touch on Detroit, I want to point out that you've been agreeing with me a lot, which either means I've learned the NBA quite well, or we're both idiots.
Probably the latter.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
But,
no,
anyway,
not.
Detroit.
Detroit. We might disagree on this one. What do you think?
I'm gonna go O.
Oh, so am I. I didn't think you.
Yeah, I think Monte Morris is an okay piece. Don't want the money's involved, but I'm sure he's on a minimum of some sort. Joe Harris, great shooter. Probably needed a fresh team away from the Nets.
Yeah.
And I like Isaiah Stewart when he's not trying to fight LeBron James. And you can see that they're committed to him because it's a 4-year extension. I think he's a good player. So yeah, I think as a whole, although they haven't done much, it's a no for me.
No, I agree. They've added in players with experience. They're obviously still rebuilding as per se. Yeah, no, I think it's good. Wiseman, Cunningham. You got those young players. Yeah, I'm quite. If I was a Pistons fan, I wouldn't be too upset with that. They're not going to do well this year, I don't think, but definitely in a couple of years. And they've got players that will just tie them over to hopefully maybe get them into the buy-in and stuff. Buy-in, play-in. Sorry. Golden State.
X.
Straight X.
Straight X. I mean, don't be wrong, like Draymond's getting his money on a 4-year deal. I don't like what Golden State have done, to be honest. They've basically Draymond punches Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole gets the short end of the deal here. I get it. Draymond Green's one of their biggest franchise players and part of their dynasty. But I think the whole thing was it was handled incorrectly. 4 years, he's getting on a bit as well, and he's got some nice money out of that. Corey Joseph, that's just adding the contract.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, they've just taken their average age up to 38.
Yeah.
And if it was Chris Paul 2-3 years ago, I'd say fair enough. He's still doing it at his age. But if you saw Chris Paul last year, he's got Father Time was catching up with him. And again, Dario Saric, he ain't making he ain't taken Golden State from the semis to the Western Finals. So, yeah, I think a pretty poor free agency for them so far.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Let's see if we agree on
Stop
this
agreeing
one.
with me.
I know. Well, I think as we get into some teams where we might not. The Rockets.
If you've put money aside,
Yeah.
I'm going to go O.
You're going to go, oh, why?
If you put money, well, they've finally got a bit of experience in the team. I think Houston roster was full of youngsters
Yes.
That needed some vet experience, and I think you're adding that. You've got Dylan Brooks. Okay, he's a bit of a character, and probably talks too much, but he's still a solid player, especially defensively. Jeff Green's got plenty of years of experience. I thought Jock Landale was pretty good for the Suns last year, to be honest. In backup to DeAndre Ayton, and I think Fred VanVleet's a pretty good player, but you could question the money they spent on VanVleet and Dylan Brooks. So yeah, money aside, but if you
But they
incorporate
had the
money,
money.
yeah, they had the money, so you could argue could they've got more additions and split the money, but I don't think they had they don't have an awful roster. They just had too many young players, and they need a bit of direction.
Yeah, I think some of the money going out, especially Van Vliet and stuff, reminds me of when the Sixers were rebuilding. They got JJ Redick and paid him like 20 mil for like a year. It was overpaid, but it was worth it, and I think that could be the same for the Houston Rockets. So, but I agree whether despite the money, so slight disagreement. I think the money don't bother me too much.
We're light years away from Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, aren't we?
We are. We're not good enough. Although I don't know who's going to replace. Yeah, it's going to all be mixed up now. Pacers. Who are we going to go with for the Pacers? Are we going X or are we going O?
I think it's an easy O for me. Like I say, you got Bruce Brown coming off a great season with Denver and winning the ring.
Yeah.
I don't, that's very low risk. I really like Obi Toppin as a player. I thought he had a bit of a future with the Knicks, but obviously they see different. And I think they're right to put all their trust in Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's a phenomenal player.
I agree. I think he's.
I think they should build. There. Yeah, I think they should build around Halliburton. To be honest,
definitely. I think he's going to be a good player. I just don't know if they wanted to compete early. I mean, he's still young, but I think, yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. Actually, I was going to disagree, but it's hard to disagree. They're not there to compete just yet. But maybe if the season goes well, they might do some buyouts and things like that. But they're probably a 24, 25 team that you're thinking are going to be a serious contender from that year onwards.
Yeah, I guess the argument there could be, are they building something right now to become contenders? Probably not. They're probably quite a long way away from that. But I think if you just take this in isolation on this free agency, there's definitely two good additions, and put all your money into Tyrese.
Agree. You might be biased on this one, but are they Clippers?
X.
No, I agree. I think we have to touch on that Westbrook 2-year deal. They'll probably have to do that.
Can I just play out there that Westbrook has not taken a pay cut to re-sign? He's taken whatever he gets offered by the Clippers so he can stay home. And who the hell was looking at Russell Westbrook after the last 2 years?
Yeah, I agree. I think they were kind of tied to that because I think they wanted to try and get Harden, but that's still to be seen. So I think at the moment, yeah, it's a complete X. They've not really done anything. So yeah, we'll see. And obviously, they needed. It's an aging team, injury-prone team. So yeah, let's go on to your Lakers then.
Not that I'm biased, but it's definitely an O, and I'd say probably the best team in free agency.
Why is that? Why is that?
Well, we got Austin Reeves back on a 4-year deal. We offered
that'd
him the
be
most we
first
could, but
thing.
no one. Well, everyone was thinking that other teams were going to put in offers, so they had to bump up our offer. But if you look at it in one way, we got him on the cheapest deal possible, essentially.
Yeah.
Because we were always going to offer him the max, but it was about what other teams offered. So more than happy with that 4-year deal. Rui Hachimura comes back on a 3-year deal after what he done in the few months he was with us. Gabe Vincent, we talked about Max Strus. Gabe Vincent was another key player for Miami last year, and I think that's an excellent pickup.
Mm-hmm.
He probably replaces Dennis Schroeder, who naturally left us because he was looking for more money, and we were never going to pay him what Toronto were paying him. So I think that's a great addition to replace Dennis Schroeder.
Mm-hmm.
D'Angelo Russell returns, and I think what I like about those re-signings is the continuity of the roster. We've had a different roster for the last 3 years now, so I'm loving it at the moment. And I think Torian Prince is a better Troy Brown Jr. So
Okay.
that's a 1-year deal. Again, it's low risk. He can shoot well from free, and he's a big wing player. And we lacked size last year. I say the biggest gamble is probably Jackson Hayes and Cam Reddish. Jackson Hayes is not reaching his true potential.
No.
I think he's been a bit mismanaged from Pelicans, but we'll see what he's like in the bright lights of Lakers and how he responds to our coaching. And I guess Cam Reddish is the biggest gamble because he's been thrown around the last few years.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe playing on a big team with the likes of LeBron and AD might spark his game up. So yeah, best team in free agency. No bias.
We'll see. Yeah, I think Reddish still young lad. You forget how young he is. I just had to Google.
Exactly.
He's 23, so he's one of those one and done guys. But yeah, forget how young he is and how young he was when we played the Hawks in the playoffs. I thought he was older because of the way he was playing. But yeah, no. So yeah, interesting so
Agree.
far. Yeah, we do agree. We do agree. So Grizzlies.
Oh,
Agree. Yeah, I think there's some good start to their sort of off season. Just need to sort out.
they've added a solid leader in Marcus Smart, which they need because they're known for their antics and being young and a bit stupid. So I think that's a great addition. And now they've got Marcus Smart. They've got the last 2 defensive players of the year. That can't be a bad thing. Desmond Bain, 5-year extension, has been amazing for them. I guess the lower additions are obviously Josh Christopher, Derek Rose, and Isaiah Todd, filling up some roster spots. But yeah, definitely in the whole, I think just that Marcus Smart trade alone is a no for me.
Yeah, definitely agree. And adding in, like I say, the experience with Rose. Miami Heat, how's that for you?
They haven't really done much. I think I'll go X because they let Gabe Vincent and Max Strus go, and they're signing Thomas Bryant, who is just a bit of a journeyman now. Good to see Kevin Love back, but yeah, I think essentially to sum up, an X.
Well, okay, I slightly disagree in the sense of I think there's more to come from
Finally,
them. I know. Josh Richardson, I think he's a player that could be a good player. I think if he can have Butler guide him a bit. I know he's older, so it doesn't matter. But like from what I saw of him, and I did see him play, I've seen him play live actually. I think he will. I think he could be a solid addition for them. It just depends what you're going to get from him. I think having someone like Butler might get the best out of him. Bucks.
fair enough. I'm really torn on this one. I don't know about you.
I think the only cool thing is that you got the brothers together. But
I guess I lean more towards O than X. Obviously, Chris Middleton returning is obviously good for them. Yeah, like you say, Lopez brothers together, but I doubt Robin will play that much. To be honest, he's probably there just so he can live with his brother.
Yeah, I agree.
Jake Howder, I expected more from him last season when he made that move, but he had quite a few months out, so maybe full training camp and with the team properly, that should help. And Malik Beasley, I mean, he's streaky. 1 minute he can shoot lights out, the next he's throwing bricks. So no, I don't think it excites me either way, to be honest.
No, I agree again. Timberwolves. I'm X straight away. They signed Shake Milton, who I don't rate. So,
Well, I guess look, they haven't really done much. Obviously, the biggest thing for them is getting Anthony Edwards on the 5 extension, which was a given, to be honest. So, if you look outside of Anthony Edwards, yeah, I'd agree with X, to be honest.
good.
Boy Brown, he's all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the other two aren't too bad, but yeah, Shake. I mean, to be fair, the deal's not that bad money wise. I think as a player, I just no. Pelicans.
Pelicans, X so far.
Yes, agree. They're waiting on Zion, and I think we're going to probably say the same for the Knicks.
Well, I really like Dante DiVincenzo. I'd only say X on Knicks because they haven't really done much. I like Dante.
Yeah,
So
no, I do as well.
I'm gonna say O.
Who?
I'm gonna go for an O for now.
Fine. Okay, sorry, my internet went a bit there. Okay, well, I agree with you. I do like him, but I just don't know if that's necessarily the right. Toppin's gone, but yeah. So, but OKC second round picks heaven.
Yeah, I know, right? X.
Yeah, I agree.
They've obviously added some contracts with Gay and Ty Washington, Oladipo, who's always injured. I have no idea who Jack White is. Sounds made up. Davis Bertans, he's all right, shooter, but yeah, X essentially. It's just all about their draft picks, isn't it?
Yeah, agree. They're not there. I think it's another bad year for them. Magic.
Magic, X.
Yeah, I like this. I like what they've done, but I agree. I think Ingles is an okay player. Wagner's an okay player, but they haven't done a lot. So yeah, I agree. They need to get better, and they're not going to.
I think I'm just saying X because they haven't really done anything. So.
No. If they had a better roster, I think those guys would be okay, like those rotation pieces. But they need to add better players. Sixers.
Yeah. I don't know what you've done in your video because I'll be honest, I haven't watched your latest video, but I'm going to say X because I have no idea where you're getting Pat Bev. He's just a talker. He brings heart and he brings good energy, but he's that classic. You don't want to play against him, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
And
agree.
you've signed 3 centers, and I don't know when they're all going to play. So.
No, I agree. It's not been a great off season for us. I disagree about Pat Bev. I don't think he's a great player, but I think he's a good locker room guy. So I think he'll be good to have that dog mentality, give us that 15 to 20 minutes off the bench. But yeah, it's a bit.
I'll tell you now, Sam. I said exactly the same when he joined us, and then within 10 games, I couldn't wait to get rid of him.
We'll see. Let's rush through these last ones. Phoenix Suns. That's a big one, though. But...
X, big X, big X.
Yeah,
too many stars, too many similar players. Who's going to have the ball and no depth?
Yeah. I can't even agree. And you're definitely showing guys. Yeah, I think there's just I don't really. I think they're trying too much. If they manage to pull it off, then I'll hold my hands up. I just don't see it happening. They've signed a bunch of nobodies to sit on the bench. Too many. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. The players they're going to have starting. I suppose a team that's kind of stuck because of gone.
I was just going to say, looking at the rest of the teams, there's no real big moves.
No.
And we have 2 minutes left.
We do.
So I think we're going to have to do another episode on Summer League and for draft picks and players in their second year.
Indeed, we'll do that. But yeah, I think Kings, Trailblazers are waiting on Dame. So I think next time we do an episode, not the next one, but 2 after that, we'll hopefully have more. Kings are the Kings. They're never, even though they had a good year, they're not going to do much. Spurs, obviously, it's around the youth. Raptors are probably rebuilding now. So yeah, Washington again. I think depends what happens with Bradley Beal. So yeah, I agree.
Oh, just on Washington, it's just a shame that Jordan Poole has to end up on a team doing nothing because he got punched in the face last year. But yeah.
Yeah, they're not very. They're in a. Yeah, I don't think Washington will do much this year either. So yeah, he might do it. He might get a bit of points but he's not going to get any NBA championships there. Well, if you managed to make it to the end, thanks for watching. We will put this straight up onto YouTube and to podcasts, but we will do another one about Summer League and that shortly. Thanks for watching.
Hope the new segment was all right, and we'll see you guys next time.